Now, while we wait for Kankan to finally release his highly anticipated project, Way Too Geeked, in the coming weeks or months, depending on all of these rapper delays, I think he's dropping 2 more collab projects with like Lucky and Summers. But who really knows? These rappers just be capped for a living, for better or worse, considering all it does is increase their streams while the fans are salivating. And he seems to be one of the best at cultivating a fan base, playing along with memes, jokes, whatnot. I think it has to do with being a producer, which is something we'll talk about very soon. But usually they're a little bit more tech savvy than the rappers. But good thing Kankan has a little bit of both. He makes the money, but he's also with the culture. Regardless though, considering his project is coming soon, I thought it'd be who of us to dive into some of his history, because I think he has a cool story in that he wasn't even originally trying to be a rapper. It kind of just worked out that way. And really just one project changed the trajectory of his career, by which if it did not succeed as well as it did, I believe dude would still be making beats or might not even be in the music industry by this point. Considering one of the main things that he and his manager made clear was that he really didn't make much money until he started rapping, because producers just get shafted in the music industry. Some of y'all are producers. I know you know this is true, but that's where you get that top G mentality, right? But to get started, essentially Kankan is one of the main members of the X collective of producers and rappers, Slay World. We all know this, consisting of Summers, Autumn, Goonie, Wyland, Kankan, probably some others. But Kankan didn't really join this group until like 2017 or 2018, working with Summers and Autumn quite heavily. But before this, he actually had some much larger placements that some of the newer fans might not be aware of. But before all this, he was just an artist slash producer, actually mainly producer from Texas, originally influenced by Speaker Knockers to make his own beats, because that's what Speaker Knockers did, RIP. And so he started uploading his own beats on YouTube, because if you ask me, that's honestly the best way to grow. You're just utilizing SEO and bigger names to get your name out there, because you are frankly making beats similar to what these rappers would rap on. And he really didn't start growing until say 2016. Oh, but when it rains, it pours, for he got hella placements around this time. The first of which being 1000 Band Fawny, Doo-Wop Kane, Ron So Cold, Booth Boy Icy, Warhol, Young Bands, and some others. So if you think about it, in 2016, that was actually the original SoundCloud era. So Kankan really isn't even part of this underground scene like we think he is. He's been here for a while. In fact, what some of y'all in the audience probably already know is that he actually has some major placements with Lil Pump, Famous Dex, and Smoke Perp, and they both have Lyrical Lemonade music videos, which is just crazy, the reach that Kankan had that just flew way over our heads. But again, that's what happens with a lot of these producers, unfortunately. And just to give y'all some songs to listen to, although I don't believe Kankan is receiving any royalties from these, some of the first placements that he achieved were Trust Issues by Doo-Wop Kane in 2016, Caillou by Lil Boom. But the more notable developments the next year were Fuck a Swisher by Smoke Perp and Xavier Wolf that we discussed a little bit earlier, as well as Talking Shit by Famous Dex and Lil Pump, both of which were the Lyrical Lemonade music videos. So already within his producer credits, you know how producers put it in their Instagram bios, flexing to everybody that they have placements with some GOATs and OGs? Well, Kankan, quite frankly, has like all of the SoundCloud OGs. But unfortunately, even though after looking into if any of the songs were on all streaming platforms, only Smoke Perp's Fuck a Swisher is, at least from the major placements. But as I mentioned a little bit before, Kankan was never paid and does not get any sort of royalties from it. But at this point, I don't think Kankan really cares, considering he is making quite a hefty bag at this point as a rapper. In fact, he's been shafted as a producer quite a few times, including how he met Summers, one of his like best friends supposedly at this point, that he has openly discussed that he met Summers after originally not liking him because he was stealing his beats from YouTube and uploading songs to them without credit or paying. But to be honest, it was probably a good move that Kankan didn't get openly angry online about it, because then Summers started to gain traction on social media. And one of the main reasons that Kankan is up now is due to collaborating with Summers and Autumn of Slay World, not only on his beats but also hopping on the same song together. However, Autumn was also a producer originally under the name Twin Uzis, which is why his Instagram handle is still that. Also, Autumn might just be taken because it is the name of a season of the year. Mother Earth probably already copped that username. But at the beginning, it was really just Summer's and Autumn's time to shine, while Kankan was supplying them a plethora of beats to lay their melodic flows onto. But in 2019, just as a joke, he posted on his own Instagram story asking his fans if he should drop a song himself. Now, I could only imagine this was because, again, he wasn't getting his fair share of the streaming revenue, although at the time, Summer's and Autumn were really only uploading to SoundCloud, which has a pretty low payout compared to all the other streaming services. Also, I feel like when you're a producer, you can make the most fire beat ever, but if the rapper just doesn't do it justice, it's not going to become big in any way. So when you rap on your own beats, it kind of gives you more control of the situation. And so for the next 2 years, he started releasing pretty consistently, starting out with a self-titled project with 10 tracks featuring his man Summers, but mostly just singles and EPs that were super successful on SoundCloud, so he thought he'd put it out to the masses as well so he could actually make money off of it. A proven strategy that I think every rapper should check out and that Uzi is currently using. But regardless, after picking up some steam in the streaming world on his own music due to collaborations with other Slay World members at the time, Isaiah TG as well as Summers, Autumn, among others, Kankan releases this one song that I believe was his next step to superstardom, this time as a rapper where he can actually make money from his own music, and that was None to Me, released in early 2021, at this point almost accruing 3 million streams just on Spotify alone. And soon after this, I believe that he gained the confidence, although releasing pretty consistently as a rapper and likely paying his bills with it. But again, if it were not for at least one of these songs to really go off big, to confirm his talent that he was doing the right thing as a career choice, I don't believe he would have continued releasing solo tracks such as later that year with his breakout EP, at least in my opinion, Oxy and Codeine, including Going to Hell, to this day one of his most popular songs, and then shortly after that going on another run with So What, None to Me 2, Kickback, and then my personal favorite, Woke Up, that solidified his place into this upcoming generation of rappers such as Yeet, Sofago, Summers, and now Kankan. But something else to note that I think is pretty significant about Kankan's career thus far is that although starting only in 2019 and really not picking up very much traction, at least to the same extent that he has now, until early 2021, so really 2 years, which I think online is the breaking point as to if you're going to be successful or not, because by that time you should really figure out your content strategy. But as I was saying, is that he's released much more consistently on all streaming platforms than many other upcoming rappers. So he already has this discography here that we've discussed previously with rappers such as Yeet, that given a deep discography, once you do finally pop off like Kankan has, now all your newly acquired fans start to dig more into your previous catalog, and the residual streams from rather old songs, including recommendation algorithms, creates like an echo chamber within your own fan base and a solid income that is the #1 and first battle that rappers face. Most of them are broke. But in conclusion, if you didn't get the gist, I believe that Kankan's career was simply all just an accident that was meant to be, I guess, given that after learning all of the skills of producing, including engineering his own music, that he learned he was actually a better rapper than producer, wherein if you check his producer credits, he stopped accumulating more around this same time that he transitioned into a solo artist. And I believe it's because of the phenomenon that we discussed a little bit earlier, and that once you become a rapper, you gain a little bit more control over your own career rather than hoping that your beats get a placement and then the rapper actually creates a good song from it. Now if you make a good beat, you can make your own good song to it, plus you get faster payment, and that even when you're in the industry signed to a label or a publisher, it takes months and months or even a few quarters for producers to get their payment unless they ask for an upfront fee. But when you're really starting out, it's not worth it for the rapper to do that. And many a time, such as in Kankan's situation, producers in the underground don't even get their back ends either, especially when rappers such as Lil Pump, Smoke, Perp, and others who are likely not solid on the business end, but also don't even release most of their music, at least at the time, on all streaming platforms, so they don't even get paid from it. But they get to perform those same songs at shows where, again, the producer gets none of that. So if there's any lesson you should take from Kankan, is if you're a producer, you got to get your business right somehow, get your money. Doesn't mean you have to necessarily become a rapper, but figure out a way to position yourself. You will actually make money from your hard work, because if you're not making money or you're not paying your bills from all this hard work that you're doing. It's just a hobby, and this is the music business. And so with that, it's your boy Bobbalam signing off. Once again, overanalyzing every step in a rapper's career. Let me know in the comments what you think about Kankan's career. Do you think that it was a good move that he became a rapper, or do you think he should have stuck to just producing? Because sometimes producers be making more money, such as like Pierre Bourne or Metro Boomin. Also, make sure to like and subscribe to join the Bob Gang if you with it. Peace out, God people. You know what I'm saying?